So yeah, we're gonna start standing today. So make sure that you have enough space. We're gonna do some arm things. But first we're gonna find our feet. And we're gonna allow ourselves to find a little bit of grounding, a little calming energy. And this is great to do, especially in the evening before you go to bed. Turn your palms to face forward. And then I want you to take a moment here and kind of land into the feet. So bring your weight to the back of your heels. And then let your knees get a little soft here. So if you're kind of like stiffen out your legs, let your knees soft, maybe even bounce the knees a few times. And the weight still kind of back into the heels. And now with the knees soft, keep some weight in the back of your heels and then balance it out and bring some into the ball of your foot. And now push into the big toe side of your foot. Push into the pinky toe side of your foot. Let the toes lift up and let the toes gently come down to the floor. Knees are still soft. And we're going to pull our belly button up and in. So it's not a super tight squeeze, but we're aware that we're engaging the core muscles, gently pulling them in. And then we want to pull the belly button up to the rib cage, up toward the rib cage. And notice that you probably got a little taller because this part of you opened up. And then we're going to notice our hips. And we're going to bring our shoulders over our hips. So that maybe got you a little bit taller. And now we're going to bring our ears over our shoulders. And maybe now you're a little bit taller. And we're just going to take a breath in and out here, gently pushing into the feet, keeping the heart and chest lifted, pulling the shoulders back and down. Maybe let the eyes close here, or you can let your gaze come down toward the tip of your nose. Just make sure you're not leaning forward to look down, or you can just close the eyes. Let your body kind of settle into this up and down shape. And you might notice it's a little uncomfortable to have your ears over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hips. Try to get a little more comfortable with it. And then just very slowly as you're breathing, and if you can keep your eyes closed, do so, lean the weight a little back to the back of your heels. And then come up to the balls of your feet. We're not lifting and lowering the heels. We're just gently shifting the weight back and forth. And it's a little more complicated and a little harder to do with your eyes closed, and it's kind of making you feel weird. You can go ahead and open them. Just keep your eyes down at the ground, but don't let your head lean forward. And just a little tiny back and forth. And just kind of feel the feet gently pushing down into the mat. Take a breath in and out. In and out. 2 more breaths. Allow yourself to experience the inhale. You don't have to take a deep breath, but take a full breath. And then exhale and release. Let the shoulders relax as you exhale and release. And if you're still swaying back and forth, allow yourself to land gently down into the feet. And we're going to take the arms up over the head. The eyes are open here. Think about pulling your armpits down, pulling your belly button and lifting up through your ribcage, getting a little taller and stretching the pinky fingers up toward the sky. Maybe you lift the head a bit. And now let your chin come back down a little toward the chest and lift through the top of your head so that your neck gets a little longer. And then we're going to take the arms open to the sides. We're going to turn our thumbs back and then turn the thumbs down. And here, I want you to feel this more in your shoulders. So take a minute. When your thumbs turn up, when your palms turn up, let your shoulders relax. And your thumbs should be pointing back. And now feel your shoulders as you turn your thumbs down. And now feel your shoulders as you turn your thumbs back. So I want you to experience this movement more in the rotation of the shoulders. When the thumbs come down, the shoulders roll forward. And when the thumbs go back, the shoulders roll back. So I want you to feel this rotation in your shoulders. You know, sometimes when we do this, we kind of focus a little bit more on how the hands and the wrists feel, which is a nice little stretch for the hands and the wrists. But here, I kind of want the shoulders to feel it a little more. One more. And now go ahead and take those arms right back up to the sky. Pull your belly button and think about pulling your armpits down. so that your shoulder blades are down your back. And now turn your pinky fingers towards you. So your palms are going to face behind you. Pinky fingers are going to turn towards you. So it's looking like this. And you're going to feel your shoulder blades open. Now keep those shoulder blades open and turn your palms back to face one another. Open the arms out to the sides. And now bring the hands behind your head. Both one hand's going to rest inside the other. Pull your elbows just a little back so they're out of your peripheral. Keep lifting up your heart. And now gently push your head into your hands. Inhale, open the arms up long. Exhale, we're going to turn our thumbs down and we're going to bring the hands behind the back. Our tendency here is to pull the low back away from the hands. Push your low back, pull your belly button and push your low back towards your hands. Keep your heart lifted and roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale, open up the arms, thumbs point up. Take the hands right back up to the ceiling. Pull your armpits down. Exhale, hands come behind the head. Lift up the heart, pull the elbows back. Push your head into your hands. Inhale, open the arms out to the side. Exhale, turn the thumbs down. Bend the elbows, bring the hands to the low back. Best you can. If they don't quite reach, that's fine. And now pull your belly button and pull your low back towards your hands. Inhale, take the arms all the way back up to the sky. Take a breath here, and we're going to find a twist. So maybe your feet come a little closer than hip distance here. Soften your knees. Turn your belly button toward your left, and now open the arms. Inhale, come back to center, arms to ceiling, breathe in. Exhale, turn the belly button to the right, open the arms. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, we're gonna fold, our feet are a little closer to hip distance, bring your hands to your thighs, and then maybe bring the feet just back out to hip distance here. Soften, allow your full self to fold a bit here, stretching through the back of your hamstrings, your knees still have a nice bend. Inhale, push into your thighs, shoulders out of your ears. Tuck your chin to your chest, just a little bit, so it's not a hard pull down to your chest, but you want a long line from the top of your head through to your tailbone. Exhale and fold. Inhale, hands on thighs, halfway lift, shoulders roll the ears, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. One more. Inhale, push into the thighs, shoulders out of the ears, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep up, bring up the arms. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, push into the feet, reach up, tall mountain. Exhale, sweep the arms back. This time we're going to inhale, take the arms up to the ceiling. Pull your armpits down. Take another inhale, reach for your pinky fingers and lift your heels. Exhale, heels come down, and we're going to take our arms back behind us. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up toward the ceiling. Pull your belly button and lift your heels. Exhale, drop your heels, sweep your arms back behind you. There's a little bend to the knees here. Inhale, last one, lift up, pull your armpits down. Now stretch up through your pinky fingers, lifting your heels. And then we're going to bring the hands right down to the heart. Inhale to mountain. Take a breath. Breath in and out. Find your feet. And let's just go ahead and rock back and forth a few times. This time, maybe lifting the heel, bending the knees. We're getting a nice waking up motion for the ankles. Breath in and out. In and out. Go ahead and softly land down into the feet. Find and turn on your mat. So we're going to step our feet out wide for a wide leg forward fold. So that you can still see, widen out your feet. Ideally, when you take your feet out, you ideally want them a little wider than the shoulders if that's comfortable for you. If not, they can be closer, but bring them as wide as you comfortably can. And then we're going to turn the toes out just a little bit toward the corners of the mat. And we're going to take a nice little stretch into our knees and into our hips. Find your shoulders, bring them over your hips. Notice if you're like folding forward a little bit, just come up tall and just a gentle side to side again here. Bring your hands to your heart for me. You guys can do this while having your hands on your hips. And just take a few nice breaths into the space where your hands are. See if you can get that space of your ribs and your chest to open a little bit. See if you can get your breath to come here into this space and maybe land a little lower. And then we're going to come back to center. We're going to come into a deeper squat. We're going to bring our hands to the top of our thighs, roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to take our right arm up and over. And then exhale, right hand comes down. We're going to take our left arm up and over. Exhale, hand comes down. Bring the elbows into the side, squat a little bit lower, and then take an inhale. Let's lift up and reach up for our moonflowers. Exhale, land down. Lift up, land down, lift, lower, lift, and lower. Inhale, come back up, stretch out the arms, and then a couple sunflowers. Let the arms sweep down in front of you. And here, think about if you can keep your back taller. So you don't have to fold forward to let your arms sweep down. Try to keep the spine a little more up and down. And let this happen a little more in the shoulders and then the upper back than you folding forward. So like instead of bending forward, you're keeping the back straight up and down, and you're just letting the arms swing and letting the knees bend so that we'd use a little more hip, a little more inner thigh. Last one. Inhale, come on, sweep back up. Let's be nice big stars. So the arms open up at a diagonal, and I want you everybody to bring their arms down to a T first. And then let's rotate the shoulders once. Thumbs turn back. Feel that in the shoulders. Thumbs turn down. Turn the palms to face forward. Notice your shoulders. Let them relax down your back. Now let the hands come up a little bit, just a little bit. Start to pull the palms back so that your chest expands open. Breathe in. Lift through your heart. And on the exhale, let's give ourselves a little squeeze, a little hug. So not a tight squeeze. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height. Tuck the chin, pull your heart away from your elbows and your elbows away from your heart. Take a peek at which arm's on top. And then inhale, open up. Stretch those arms back. Exhale, give yourself another little hug, different arm on top. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height. Tuck the chin. Pull your elbows away from your heart and your heart away from your elbows. Inhale, open up. Take the arms up to the sky. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees, let the hands land down. We're going to do 3 twists each side. So move with your breath. As you exhale, you're going to twist a shoulder toward your knee. Do whatever side you want to first. And then as you inhale, you're going to lift up. Exhale and twist. Think about using your whole breath here. You don't necessarily need to take a deep breath. I don't want you to try to overfill yourself, but I want you to use your whole breath. So your whole exhale to come down, your whole inhale to come up. Think about not rushing and just using that whole few seconds that it takes to inhale and exhale. And then I got one more time each side. I don't know if I said 2 or 3, but I'm doing 3 because it feels good. And then we're going to come back up nice and tall. We're going to let our legs straighten out. And we're going to turn and we're going to find a lunge from here. So we're going to turn our right toes toward the right or toward the short side of the mat. And we're going to step our back foot over so that our left toes are also facing the front of the mat. So both toes are facing toward the front of the mat best we can. And then we're going to bend our front knees, so our front knees right over top our ankle. We're going to pull our hips. Now, I can feel like my right hip's leaning over to the right. So I'm going to bring my hips in the center. And I can feel that maybe my right hip is a little ahead of my left hip. So I'm going to pull my right hip back. So notice if you can feel your hips in space and if you can feel if one hip feels like it's in front of the other or if one hip feels higher. So kind of Find your balance in your hips. And if you need to move that back foot around to get more comfortable, do that. If you want to be lifted up on the heel of your back foot, you can step the foot back further and lift up onto the ball of your foot. If you want your foot down flat, your foot can be down flat. We're going to take our arms right up to the ceiling here. We're going to pull our armpits down. We're going to lift up through our heart and gaze up. And then on the exhale, let's go ahead and sweep back behind us, pulling the tailbone back. Stay here with me for a moment. Push into your front foot. Reach back through your fingers. Now pull your belly button and lengthen through your spine. Get a nice stretch. Inhale, lift back up. On this exhale, we're going to stretch the fingertips forward. Pull your shoulders back towards you. Breathe in. We're going to take our arms out to either side like the letter T. Our palms are going to face down. Stretch through your fingertips, open through your shoulder blades. Turn your thumbs up. Go ahead and raise up the arms. Inhale, take the fingertips back up to the ceiling, lift up your torso. Exhale, down to your heart. We're going to bring our hands to our hips. We're going to turn and find that wide leg stance again. So the toes turn. Feet are now parallel to the short sides of our mat. You go ahead and adjust the feet as you need to here. We're going to soften down for a halfway fold. So a halfway wide leg fold. Soften the knees. Go ahead and fold down. You're going to feel a nice stretch in the back of your thighs. Think about pulling your tailbone back behind you, tucking your chin and reaching the top of your head forward so you really lengthen out through the spine. Let your knees bend a little more here. Land down and push into the pinky toe sides of your feet. Both sides are nice and flat and full. Breath in and out. In and out. Next inhale, we're going to lift back up. And you're right. You guys guessed it. We're going to do the other side. So we're going to turn. Our left toes are forward. They're facing that. We're going to step that right foot over. And we're going to find our lunge here. And take a minute once you land into this lunge to kind of play at the hips. So my right hip feels a little higher than my left. I'm going to pull it down. It feels a little ahead of the left, so I'm going to pull it forward and pull my left one back, just the air. And it's always like these are little micro bends. And now bend your knee so your knee is right over top of your ankle. And if your back heel is down, push down into your back heel, push into your front foot, really land solid into the feet. Pull your belly button in, lift up through your chest, take the arms up to the ceiling. Pull the armpits down your back. Keep breathing, reach up through your fingertips. Breath in. On the exhale, we're going to sweep back. Stretch your fingertips back behind you. Shoulder blades are coming out of the ears. Pull your tailbone back. Reach long to the top of your head. Get a nice stretch. Keep pushing into that front foot. Inhale, reach up, breathe in. Shoulder blades again, pull down. And you're hopefully pulling down through your armpits so your shoulders aren't in your ears. Reach your fingertips forward here. Pull that belly button in. Go ahead and lengthen. Pull back through your tailbone, long through your fingers. Pull your waistline up and see if you can get your rib cage to stretch a little bit longer. Breath in and out. Inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Hands to your hips. Go ahead and turn the toes. Find that wide leg stance again. Soften your knees, fold down halfway. Breath in and out. In and out. Inhale, come on back up. And we're going to find ourselves our warrior 2 feet here. Right toes are going to point toward the front of our mat. And you may need to bring that back leg back a little further. You don't have to come super deep into this depending on how you're feeling today. But think about once you bend that front knee, think about pulling your right shin toward the front of your mat. And then notice how much your inner thigh starts working when you think about moving your front shin toward the front of your mat. And now lift up, find your shoulders and your hips. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Bring your ears over your shoulders. Go ahead and take your arms out nice and long. We're going to release a little bit through the shoulders. We're just going to do a little bit here. We're going to do a peaceful warrior. Right arm lifts up. Breathe in. Stretch open that ribcage. Exhale. Come into exalted warrior. Take your left arm up and then take the left arm over the head. Find your breath. Inhale, come back up into warrior two. We're going to sweep the arms. Inhale, your left fingertips come down and around to the front, and then swing to the back, so full rotation of the shoulder. And then exhale, right fingertips come down and around. Let's do that one more time each side. Left fingertips to the front. Exhale, right fingertips to the back. We're going to do 3 warrior pumps here and lengthen out. Turn your palms up, lift up through your heart, stretch up, straighten your front leg, breathe in. Exhale, bend your knee, land back down, warrior two. One more. Breath in, reach up, stretch up, stay here with me. Pull your armpits down, reach up a little higher, gaze up, get longer through your waistline, get longer through your rib cage, and then exhale and land. Breath in and out. Let's bring our hands to our hips. And once again here, we want to think about, see, the shoulders like to come forward. So roll your shoulders back and down here. Bring your thumbs a little closer toward your low back if you can comfortably do that. Pull your elbows toward one another. Now pull your belly button in and think about, again, lifting up the space of your heart. Breathe in. And then on the exhale, we're just going to gently lean forward to the inside of the right thigh. You don't have to come down super far here. You'll start to feel that stretch in your hip. Breath in and out. Take one more here if you're comfortable. If not, come up. And then inhale, push into that front foot, lift yourself back up. We're going to go ahead and do the other side. Right toes parallel to the short side of the mat. Left toes are pointing toward the short side of the mat. Bend into your left knee. Land down into the feet. Get the feet nice and strong. Pull your tailbone down. Notice when you pull your tailbone down, you're probably going to get a little taller. And now think about pulling your left shin to the short side of your mat. Make sure your belly button is turned and pointed. And it's open. We're going to stretch out the arms. Let's do 2 warrior pumps. Turn the thumbs back. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and reach and stretch. Exhale and land. Inhale, lift and reach and stretch. Squeeze your waistline and lift up higher. Exhale and land. Let your shoulders relax down. Feel them in your back. Think about pulling open your shoulder blades here by stretching through your fingers. Turn your left palm up. Find your peaceful warrior. Left arm lifts up. Right arm relaxes down. Exhale. Exalted warrior. And go ahead and take that top arm right over the head. Stretching through the rib cage. Keeping your chest rolled open. Inhale, open back up, warrior two. Breath in and out. We're going to take an inhale now. Take the right hand to the front. Exhale, left hand swoops to the back. Let's do that one more time. Right hand getting a nice rotation with that shoulder. And then left hand. Bring the hands to the hips. Bring your thumbs a little closer toward your low back. Pull your shoulders out of your ears. Gently squeeze your elbows toward one another. Lift up as much as you can. Take a breath, little tiny back bend. And then on the exhale, start to lean down toward the inside of your left thigh. So this isn't about, oh, let me see how far I can push it. We're just kind of leaning down, seeing how it feels. And if you get a point where you're like, okay, this is good, just stay there. Take one more breath here if you're comfortable. If not, come up. If you're gritting your teeth, you're not comfortable, just let you know. Inhale, come on back up. Turn all the toes so that the feet are facing the long side of your mat. Feet are parallel to the short side. Soft knees. Let's go ahead and fold down halfway. Breath in. And out. Keep the knees soft. Maybe reach the tailbone back here. Tuck the chin and lengthen through the back of your neck. Breath in. Out, in, and out. Push into the pinky toe sides of your feet. Feel that strength in your legs, and then come all the way back up. We're going to turn our feet, and we're going to come up to the tops of our mat. So go ahead and turn the toes, step up. Once we get here, find your way back into your mountain. And, again, keep the feet. Maybe they're a little closer than hip distance here. We're going to rock back and forth just a few times. Maybe lifting the heels if that feels good for you. If not, you can go ahead and let them, you don't have to lift. You can just shift the weight from the heel to the ball. And then we're going to add a little bit with the arms. So go ahead and take an inhale, lift up the arms, lift up the heels. Exhale, let the arms come down, let the heels come down. 2 more. Inhale, reach and lift. Think about stretching up through your ribs. Exhale, land back down. 1 more. Inhale and lift. Exhale, hands to your heart. Yeah, bring your hands into prayer. Take a few breaths here. Breathe in. Out. Allow yourself to feel the flow of your breath. Notice anywhere that might feel a little tight. Maybe you're feeling this in your legs or your feet or your shoulders. And just allow your breath to go there. And as you exhale, see if you can find a little more softness in that space. And we're going to find ourselves into a little bit of balance. Let's start with mountain hands. Our left toes are on the floor. Our right heel comes somewhere against the leg. And this right knee is right. Yeah, our left heel is against our right leg. The right knee has a little bend in it. If it doesn't look like my left or right, sometimes it switches things around. And just don't do the same side twice. And then we're going to bring our hands to our heart space. And I want you to keep your toes on the ground so that you feel a little more grounded here. I'll give you a chance to lift them up in a little bit. And simply take a few breaths here. If you want to challenge yourself, take your gaze down to the ground or close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, you're going to get a little wobbly. That's just what happens. Like immediately your brain's like, what? What's going on? It's dark now. But just kind of notice and remember your toes on the ground. Feel your hands on your heart space. And you're more than welcome to keep the eyes open. Come back into the flow of your breath. Keep that right knee soft. We're going to release our heart and open our arms up to the side. We're going to bring our knee up. We're going to kick our leg out. Best you can. We're going to bend our knee and bring our foot down. Hands back to the heart. Let your weight come over to the left foot, come to your right toes. Let your heel rest a little kickstand. See if you can find the most comfortable way you can be here. Pull the waistline in, shoulders over the hips, ears over the shoulders. Drop back into the rhythm of your breath. Allow yourself to experience your inhale and then your exhale. One right after the other. And then release your heart. We're going to open the arms up to the side. We're going to bring that knee up. We're going to kick that leg out best you can. It doesn't even have to come up this high. And then bend the knee and step the foot down. Feel the ground beneath you. Let's find our way to mountain. Let your fingers reach down, soften through your feet, push into your feet, lift up through your heart. Breath in and out. In and out. Let's take our arms up toward the ceiling. We're gonna grab our left wrist with our right hand. So get your hand around your wrist, your fingers around your wrist. And then we're gonna pull the left arm up to the ceiling a little bit higher. We're gonna bend our knees softly here. And then we're gonna pull that left hand over to the right and get a nice stretch through our rib cage. And then inhale, come back up. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist. Pull that arm up a little bit higher. And now pull it over to the side. Open to that rib cage. Breath in and out. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, let's sweep those arms back behind us. Sweep them up. Bring the hands down to the heart. Soften your knees, bring your hands to your thighs. Gently fold forward. Maybe let your fingertips slide down toward the floor and come into a deeper fold. Take a breath or two here if this is comfortable. Tuck the chin to the chest, let the head, neck, and shoulders relax down a bit more. We're going to drop our hands down to the floor and we're going to step our feet back to down dog. The knees are bent. We're going to stretch back through the tailbone. Let's walk the dog for a breath or two here. Think about using the whole perimeter of your hands to push the mat away from you. Think about pushing down into your fingertips, the perimeter of your hand. Walk the dog. And maybe stretch your feet by spreading the toes as you lift the heels. If this is a little too much for your arms, you're always welcome to drop down to your knees. If you're still okay, step both your feet over to the left side of your mat. Bend your knees in toward the middle of your mat, and then let your hips drop over to the left-hand side, stretching through the right side of your body, pushing a little more to your right hand, getting a nice deep stretch. Take a breath. Let it out. Bring the feet back to center. Find your down dog. Soften your knees. Stretch your tailbone back. Step your feet over to the right-hand side. Bring your feet together to touch. Bend your knees. They're going to point in toward the middle of the mat. And then we're going to lean our hips over to the right-hand side, pushing a little bit more into our left hand, getting a nice stretch through that side. And then go ahead and let the hips come back up. We're going to walk our feet nice and wide apart, and we're going to drop our knees down here so that your knees are now wide apart. We're going to bring our forearms down to the mat. Bum is still nice and in the air. So from here, decide where you're going to be most comfortable. If this is good and your bum being in the air is good, stay here. If you can drop your hips back towards your ankles, you can get a little deeper. If you're good, if this is good for your knees with your bum in the air, walk your forearms out in front of you just a little bit so that you can let your chest settle down. And here, I want you to check back in. Come back to your breath, and we're going to take a nice cleansing breath here. So take a breath in, a nice breath in, and this time when you exhale, exhale out your mouth. Go. I don't know if you can hear, I sighed out my mouth. I don't know if you can hear that through the headphones. And then take one more of those. Breathe in. Let it out through your mouth. And now we're going to breathe through our nose. We're going to sip in some air through our nose. We're not going to take a super deep inhale, but we're going to allow our exhale to be a little longer than our inhale. So don't take a super deep breath in. Breathe in comfortably, but exhale longer than you're breathing in. And take a few breaths like that. One more. And then from here, we're going to find our way over to a seat. Let's find our way back into that taller spine. So shoulders over the hips, ears over the shoulders. Crisscross applesauce, not comfortable for you, stretch your legs out. That's works just as well here. And we're going to find a few torso circles. Being aware of feeling the mat, your body and the mat. So feel the parts of you that are pushing against the mat as you circle around, creating a grounding sensation as you feel that solidness beneath you. And then maybe drop back into your breath here. Maybe inhaling for half your circle and exhaling for half your circle and using your whole breath. And we're going to go ahead and switch the direction of that circle. Come back up nice and tall. We're going to take our arms out to either side of us. We're going to take our thumbs back, rotating the shoulders. So feel that in your shoulders. And then thumbs down. Shoulders are going to come forward as you turn the thumbs down. And then thumbs back, shoulders come back. And thumbs down. Turn the palms back up. Stretch the arms up to the sky. Think about pulling open your shoulder blades here. So you're going to kind of pull your armpits toward one another. And you're going to turn your pinkies in just a little bit. Notice that's kind of pulling open your upper back. And keep that upper back nice and open. We're going to bring our hands back behind our head. Lift up through your heart. Go ahead and squeeze the shoulder blades together here. Pull the elbows gently back. And then now see if you can pull your hands a little bit away from your head. Inhale, open up the arms. Exhale, turn the thumbs down. Bring the hands back behind you. They're going to come to your low back. Lift up through your heart. Pull your belly button and push your low back into your hands. Pull your shoulders back and down. Inhale, arms reach all the way back up. Exhale, hands behind the head. Gently push your head back into your hands because our tendency is to slouch forward here. So push your head gently back into your hands. Now pull the elbows out of your peripheral vision. Go ahead and open the arms. Let the shoulders relax down here. Notice if the shoulders have become relaxed. Turn the thumbs down. Bring the hands back behind you so your palms are facing away from your back. Pull your low back towards your hands. And then maybe see if you can pull your hands away from your low back. And then go ahead and release. Take the arms up, sweep them up. Exhale, fingertips come down. Inhale, right arm comes all the way up. And we're going to let our side body stretch here as much as we can comfortable. Maybe we slide that bottom arm a little longer and we take a nice deeper breath into the rib cage. And then we're going to turn and look down at the left fingertips, reaching through our right hand, opening through that upper back. And then go ahead and stretch those right fingertips out in front of you. And then come back up. We're going to try that on the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over. Maybe we slide that right hand over a little bit more so both sides of our rib cage get a nice lengthening stretch here. Take a breath in while you're long. And then maybe turn and look at your right fingertips, reaching through your left fingertips, opening through that upper back. And then stretch your left fingertips out in front of you. Turn the palms up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, allow the hands to find their way down to your heart. Let's let our hands rest right on top of our heart space. So not prayer hands, our hands are flat against our heart, one on top of the other. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. We did a lot of opening for the front and the back of the chest. And it's always nice to connect with the heart energy. It's one of the most powerful energy centers in our body and actually can help regulate all the rest of them. So just take a few breaths into that space. Feel anything you can feel in that palm-sized shape where your heart rests. Or simply as you inhale and exhale, imagine your breath going into that space, making it a little lighter and a little brighter. One more breath here. From here, we're going to go ahead and lengthen out our right leg. We're going to bring the sole of our left foot against the right thigh. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Get as tall as you can here. Think about maybe pushing your right thigh down to the ground and your right toes are kind of flexed a little bit back towards your knee. They don't have to be flexed real hard, but they're pointing up to the sky. Roll those shoulders back and down and then lift up a little taller, tucking the chin, getting the back of the neck a little longer. And then as you exhale, we're just slowly going to lean down toward that right leg. 3 slow breaths here using your whole inhale and your whole exhale. And then next, inhale. Once you've done your 3 breaths, come up. If I went a little faster than you, you can go ahead and finish your breaths. Sit up nice and tall. And we're going to find a twist in this position. We're going to take our left arm back behind us. Our right hand's going to come to our left knee. And we want to sit up a little bit taller. And then as you exhale, go ahead and find a comfortable twist for you. We're going to find our way back to center. And let's switch out our legs. We're going to let that left leg go long and bring the sole of the right foot somewhere. Make sure, again, if this knee is popped up high, you can prop something underneath it or simply slide your foot down so that the knee relaxes a little bit more. Push your left thigh down, sit up taller, tuck the chin, lengthen through the back of your neck, roll the shoulders back and down. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, very gently lean down towards your leg. Let the shoulders relax away from your ears. Allow the breath to be full. And if you're feeling tightness, create an exhale that's a little longer than your inhale. Next inhale, go ahead and let yourself come back up. We're going to twist to the other side. Right arm's going to come back behind. Left hand to the right knee. Think about sitting up a little taller before you twist. And then as you exhale, find a comfortable twist, and we're going to take a few breaths here. And the next inhale, come on back to center. We're going to turn, make sure that you guys should be turned correctly on your mats. But we're going to go ahead and lay back and down. So let yourself come all the way back and down, whatever way is easiest for you to come back. And when you get all the way back and down, we're going to bring the knees right into the chest, giving them a nice squeeze into the belly. Maybe rolling the thighs across your abdominal muscles, rocking gently from side to side. So I'm kind of pulling my thighs down into the poochie part of my belly and kind of softening up space, give myself a little belly rub. And what this does is this helps to stimulate the vagus nerve, which will put you into more of a rest and digest state of mind. So again, nice to do before bed if you want to kind of relax. And then we're going to bring our hands right to the top of our knees, and we're going to push our knees away. Hands are going to stay on our thighs. And then we're going to bend our elbows and pull those thighs in again, creating a little abdominal pressure. Inhale away. Exhale, pull those thighs in. Away. And in. One more. Away. And in. And here we're going to hold on to our right leg with that knee bent. We're going to hold on below the knee or underneath our thigh. You're going to bring your left foot down to the ground. And now decide if you want to lengthen out your left leg. So if stretching out through your left leg would feel nice here, go ahead and stretch out through that left leg. If you want a little more intensity, flex the toes towards your knee, stretch through your heel, and pull your right knee in even closer. And now if you can, adjust so that maybe your shoulders aren't really being used or that you're not tensing through your shoulders. Take a few breaths here, giving your psoas a chance to ungrip. And then slide that left heel back as you bend your left knee and bring your left foot down to the ground. Point the sole of your right foot right up to the ceiling. Straighten your right leg up. Flex your toes. If you guys have straps and you want to use a strap for this hamstring stretch, you're welcome to. Or you can just simply hold on to the back of your thigh and gently pull the leg in a little bit closer. If your hammies are tight, that doesn't mean you pull with the strength of Hercules. That means you do a little bit and you breathe. And then go ahead and bend and let that foot come down. We're going to bring that left knee into the chest. Hold on. Again, don't hold on right on top of your knee. A lot of times we put a lot of pressure right on top of that knee. So see if you can hold below the knee or underneath your thigh. And then decide if you want to stretch that right leg long. Now, for everybody, this isn't always comfortable in your low back, depending on what you have going on there. And I tend to find the low back is not something you just stretch through. It's best to be gentle. So if this hurts your low back, bend your knee again. If you're fine here, go ahead and reach through that heel. Make it a little more intense if you need that intensity. Keep pulling that left knee in towards you. Think about relaxing the space where your neck and your shoulders meet. Try not to be tensing there. If your tongue or if your teeth are clenched, you're stressing, so let that go. If your tongue is pushed against the top of your mouth, that also means that you're using too much force, you're applying too much. You want to find a balance between ease and effort. So you want your tongue to be relaxed in your mouth, and you don't want your teeth to be gritted or clenched. And then notice if you're still breathing nice and smooth. And then go ahead and slide that right heel back towards you, right foot down to the ground. Point the sole of your left foot right up to the ceiling. And my peeps with straps, if you want to use a strap and get that foot, you can. Or you can simply hold on to the back of your thigh and pull that leg in a little closer. This is a fine place to breathe into the muscles in your face and try to soften the muscles between your eyebrows. Just kind of let that area go. See if you can let the corners of your lips and your cheeks just kind of soften. Find where your jaw connects around your ear and just kind of see if you can let that go. And let's go ahead and let that leg come down. We're going to bring both feet down flat. We're going to take our arms out to either side of us, like the letter T. And from here, we're going to take a nice breath. We're going to bring our right knee in toward our chest. We're going to draw a circle with our right knee. So the knee stays bent. We're going to just draw 3 circles around in one direction with that right knee, releasing anything that's happening in that hip. And then back around in the opposite direction. Circles are only big and small as your hip will allow. We're not trying to force anything. Bring your right foot back to the ground. Bring your left knee into the chest. 3 circles in one direction and then 3 circles in the opposite direction. Think about trying to keep your opposite hip on the ground. Think about pulling your belly button in. And then the feet are going to land down. Bring your low back to the ground. Drop your knees over to the right-hand side. See if you can keep your shoulders on the ground. If they lift up, that's fine. But ideally, I want your knees all the way over on the other side. So if you can let your knees drop all the way over so they're laying on the ground. And if your left shoulder lifts up, that's fine. If you want to here, bend your left elbow and reach your fingertips up toward the left corner of your mat. And again, if your shoulder's way up off the ground and that's not comfortable, bend your elbow, make sure that you're comfortable, that your shoulder's relaxing. And then take your right hand to the rib cage that's up toward the ceiling. And we're going to take a few nice breaths here, feeling our hand rise and fall on the rib cage. Exhaling nice and slow, feeling the rib cage soften with the exhale. Maybe we deepen our inhale here so we can feel the rib cage moving the hand. And then from here, we're going to release our hand from the rib cage. You're going to take your left knee and point it up toward the sky, bring your foot down, and then let your right knee follow. Maybe lift your hips here so that your hips come back down flat. Hips probably scooched over a little bit. And then before we drop our knees to the left, go ahead and let your arms straighten back out. Letter T. And scoot your hips like an inch to the right. Just scooch them over just a bit. Bring your feet a little closer. They don't have to touch, but let them be closer. And now drop your knees over to the left-hand side. And ideally, the knees are all the way down. You can bend your right elbow to make that more comfortable for you, moving the fingertips toward the top of your mat. And then take your left hand, bring them to your top rib cage, your right rib cage. And allow yourself to feel the rib cage moving up and down here. And then from here, go ahead and lift up the right knee. Let the left knee follow. Scooch the hips so they come back toward the center of your mat. Let your arms come down so that your palms are a little closer to your hips, maybe turned up. Walk your feet apart. The knees should still be bent. And let your knees come in together and touch. Lifting the hips and scooching the tailbone toward the bottom of the mat. We're going to take a few slow breaths right here. As you breathe, I want you to feel the support of the earth beneath your body. Feel the weight of your upper body, the back of your shoulders, your upper back, the back of your head resting. As you exhale, let go of any holding in your neck and in your shoulders. Feel the gentle pull of gravity and allow it to pull away any tension or negativity. Feel the support beneath your middle of your back and your hips. If you'd like to stretch out your legs and feel the support there, let your legs stretch out. As you exhale, simply allow the body to relax down, soft and heavy. For the next few moments, simply enjoy the rise and fall of your chest. Continue to feel that gentle pull of gravity. Release any last things you need to allow them to be pulled gently away. Begin to bring your breath into the space of your heart. May you be peaceful. May you feel relaxed. May you free yourself from all worry. Continue to breathe into the space of your heart. And if rolling onto your side sounds like a good idea, you're welcome to roll onto your side. Enjoy another breath or two here. Enjoying being at home in your body. When you feel ready, find your way to a seat. Let's bring our palms together. Feel the warmth or coolness of your hands. Still be here in this moment and feel your skin on skin contact. We touch our minds and our hearts. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you for coming.